Hey guys, welcome to day 53 of my carnivore journey. Now, I'm just going to get right into this. As you guys seen by the thumbnail, this is Confessions of a Sinner. And yes, I cheated on my carnivore diet. I'm just going to be straightforward and honest with you guys. I fell off the wagon in that sense of I had sugar. Okay. And how I did that was by having 3 Subway chocolate chip cookies. So I wanted to, I didn't want to make this real dramatic. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to tell you guys, I wanted to share with my diary. This is my vlog, my diary vlog of my journey in carnivore. So for better or for worse, I want to document the things. I want to be honest with this journal along with you guys, since it's public and you guys are following my journey. And I think that the guilt comes with that some people have told me, like, hey, you know, you've been an inspiration to me, you're inspirational. So that extra bit of guilt sometimes can hit. But in all seriousness, though, I want this to also be a learning lesson. And I think when it's all said and done, you'll understand why. But let me break down what happened. Okay, let me share, because I know you guys will be like, what the hell happened, Josh? You were doing so good. And it's true. I live in a divided household. I'm faced with temptations all the time. I've picked up and bought my wife dessert. I've cut pies and served it to her, and cookies and whatever. Well, last night, she wanted gummy bears, and the gas station I go to, it's a truck stop. They have a Subway there. They serve fresh Subway cookies as part of my bad routine, but they didn't have gummy bears. So I thought I would get her a little 3-pack of chocolate chip cookies, because they had like oatmeal raisins. They didn't have a good selection that was left tonight, last night. So I saw they had a 3-pack of chocolate, because I used to get her like the box. Sometimes they'd have like a big box. So the only thing that I knew she would like was the 3-pack of cookies. Now, she doesn't know this. She doesn't know the story. I'm sharing this out to my journal, out to you guys, and to even her, because I just don't want to disappoint her. And I don't want to disappoint you guys. But it happened. And so anyways, I bought them for her, and then I got my gas, you know, and real quick, before I know some of you are gonna be like, well, Josh, you need to change your routine, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, the way my second job is, like with my route, I have to go to that gas station. I mean, I don't have to, but pretty much, because I have a professional driver card. I get a huge gas discount there. And the way gas cost is, it's the only one around there that I get that kind of discount at. And if I was to try to get my gas any other way, I'd have to kind of go out of my way, and I wouldn't get the discount. So anyways, but I bought the cookies. They were in my passenger seat. I got down the highway, and it's like they just, for some reason, were just, the devil in them, I don't know, was talking to me. And it started turning into this morbid, like, fascination. I don't know, morbid, but it turned into this bad fascination with more like a curiosity, like a horrible curiosity of, I haven't had sugar in that long. I mean, in my entire life, I don't think I've ever gone this long without sugar. Now, besides, I'm not talking about the trace amounts of sugar in like a few of the meat sticks and stuff that I've had, or even maybe some of the bacon, you know what I mean? Like those little less than 2 gram type trace amounts. I'm talking a big chunk of sugar. And so I gave in. And I hit the F it button. And I shouldn't, obviously. So I want to kind of walk you through what happened, because I think it's important that you guys understand. And this is that learning thing that I need to learn from, which I did learn from. But I think it's important that, you know, some of you learn this, hopefully, from my mistake. So anyways, so I open it up, I take a bite, or as I'm taking a bite, you know, like when you first put something in your mouth and you start to inhale a little bit, you sort of smell and breathe that in, and then so your taste buds start kicking in, your tongue starts to hit it, and that cookie dough part of the cookie, it was very, and I don't want to sound cliche, but it was very artificial tasting. It tasted off, like just bran flaky, you know, fakeish stuff, you know. And again, I'm not trying to be cliche. I'm not trying to just, you know, say whatever. I'm just trying to describe how it was. And then the chocolate hit. I started getting some of the chocolate chips, and it was very, very sweet, very like syrup sweet. And the chocolate part of it was already sort of doing its job. And what I mean by its job is almost as a drug. That sugar is like a drug, and it's a tasty poison. So the overall combined taste wasn't real pleasant, but the sweetness started to kick in a little bit of a sugar buzz. Okay. And I don't want to get into the whole endorphin thing and stuff like that. This was more like a sugar buzz, like back when, if you were ever a smoker in your life and you couldn't have a cigarette all day or something, and then you finally got to smoke that cigarette and you got that little numbing, like that, you know, the smoker buzz, cigarette buzz, anything like that. If you've ever had that slight cigarette buzz, or in this case, like a sugar buzz. But anyways, I'll get to that in a second. So, but that taste, that syrup, it was very, very sweet. And I finished that one cookie, and I almost stopped. Because it wasn't that good, believe it or not. It was very sweet, the off taste, but the old fat guy mentality kicked in and was like, you might as well finish the other two, because you know, you got to hide the evidence, you know, and don't waste food. There's always that don't waste food part of me. I don't know why. Maybe that's just part of that generational thing growing up, like, don't waste your food. People in China are starving or whatever. Don't waste your food and hide the evidence by eating it, right? It was just one of those things. So I ate the other two. And what made it worse is, like, I didn't have anything to drink it down with. I didn't have any water. I had my coffee. It wasn't helping. So I'm going to try to describe the after effects and what happened. What was the fallout? So for the next, like, 10 to 15 minutes, I would say I had that sort of numbing sugar buzz that was starting to happen. Okay. Very predominant. It's not like I was imagining this. I don't want to hear no placebo effect bullshit either. Okay. I'm telling you. And let me explain another thing too. When you have an elimination diet and you're down to just a narrow list of things that you're eating, like as far as compared to before, you notice a lot more. Your body, you're a lot more in tune with your body because there's just not a lot of noise, right? Back when you were dieting and you were eating, even if you ate less, you still had a lot of noise. So if you did cheat on your diet, you know, it was like a whisper on a scream or blue on black. It just didn't matter too much. But now when you're a carnivore and your body's feeling good, you're feeling clean, and then you cheat, oh, you hear these things, you feel these things. So the buzz was like 10, 15 minutes, and it wasn't all that pleasant. You know, it really started to make me feel awkward. And then another thing that started happening very, very quickly was in my upper, both my upper arms, inside of my arms, and then my upper legs and then my right foot toward the top, and then toward my thumb wrist area on my right hand here, I started getting achy vein ache pulses. And had I not been in the hospital recently, it's like if you were in the hospital, it reminded me, if you get an IV, they'll start the needle and then they do like a flush. So some of you, I'm sure a lot of you may be familiar when you get that flush where they just, I don't know if it's a saline solution, whatever, and they flush, there's like this pressure inside of your arm and like your veins. And then there's a little bit of pain sometimes when they do that flush. Well, that's what happened with this. Was like it was, but not it wasn't as much as a flush, but it was just an achy light pulse of pain. Not again, I don't, when I say pain, I don't mean like it just was an uncomfortable achiness. Okay, and it would pulse like in my legs, my like I said, my kind of wrist, thumb area, my upper arm areas toward my shoulders, maybe even back a little more toward my triceps. It felt, and that continued for the rest of the night, off and on. I just was, and it was pretty pronounced. So it's not like it was just real subtle. No, this was like, I'm like going, oh my God, I'm actually aching quite a bit. It was quite a bit. And it happened a lot. And then there was another point about an hour afterwards when I started getting some aching in my back. And I'm like, what the hell's this? You know? But I wasn't trying to. Like I said, I just wanted this to pass. By now, like an hour after this cookies, I wanted this to pass. I'm like, okay, come on, we can get through this, you know? And I got home that night and I passed out. I was I just wasn't doing good. There was a part of me that also was feeling not feverish. I don't want to say feverish because I don't want you to get the wrong idea. But like, I don't know, almost a little bit of a heat that was kind of happening up in my head area, but not real feverish. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was just definitely something off. So I went to bed, I got up, and then I kind of woke up, sat up, I was just like thinking about the other night or the night before, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. That sucks. And then I started feeling the achiness again. And I swear, almost all today, I felt a slight achiness in my body. I was sluggish to get moving in the morning. I'm not going to say I had horrible energy. It was okay. So when I got home tonight, I damn sure had bacon. I had beef, butter, bacon, and eggs today. I was telling you, I went running back to beef, butter, bacon, and eggs with nothing but salt. Nothing else tonight. I went running back to that tonight. So why am I sharing this? Why am I sharing this? Because I'm sharing this because for me, it's like, again, like I told you, I wanted to document it, but also I want this to be a lesson because for me, what did I gain from this or lose? One, I lost a little bit of respect for myself. I don't know, but I'm human. I make mistakes, right? But what was the thing to learn? And I think the thing that I learned was just how much something like that can affect you. Again, and it's like I told you, I never realized, because as I always lived eating carbs and sugar, even back when I was dieting, it was just I was eating less of carbs and sugar, but it was still carbs and sugar in my body. I just didn't notice. I was always sort of living in this with 1,000 chemicals running around, causing this kind of white noise, if you will, in my brain. And then, like I said, when you eliminate all that with an elimination diet like carnivore, I'm sorry if I keep bumping I don't know if it keeps making noise if I bump my mic. But when you eliminate diet everything and you're down to like just a small list of things, it's almost like silence. You can feel your body. You feel everything. And you can easily hear these certain things. Does that make sense? So, like I said, you don't realize. So when you would fall off the wagon back in the day, you know, all that you would really be doing was just hurting your pride. You didn't really feel that major impact. In a lot of ways, it was more rewarding back then when you fell off the wagon in a way, because you just got to purely enjoy, you know, that the taste that you thought you were tasting. But that also is something too, is that I didn't realize how much I cleansed my palate in this carnivore diet, because when I tasted that cookies, when I ate those cookies, they did not taste as amazing as I always remembered Subway cookies, because I was having them all the way up until just, like I said, 52 days ago. So it's not like they were something from the past where I was like, oh yeah, like 5 years ago, these things, I remember these things being amazing. Well, this was just recently. They were always amazing to me consistently. Well, now they don't. Now it's like you can really taste the garbage in them. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know how to explain it, but the after effects, feeling certain ways, and still even, you know, here we are an entire 24 hours later, and I'm still feeling, you know, like in my wrist area, like almost like an arthritis, that achy arthritis kind of feeling, in my right arms especially. I feel it more on my right side usually when I take those hits. But it's not something I want to experience again. You know, I really feel like this is something that, now that I've done it, it's like, it's almost like I needed that reminder. I needed to be shown like, hey, this is truly what all that imagining of me falling off the wagon, all the times I sat there and be like, am I missing out? Am I missing out on life by passing up a piece of pie? I'm like, is one little piece of pie going to hurt? You know, especially if I'm doing good, blah, blah, blah. Well, see, all that curiosity, all those thoughts, all those devil thoughts, all of that was answered when I had those 3 cookies. And it was like, no, you're not missing out. It's garbage. And it's made from chemicals and poisonous stuff. And it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you if you go back to eating this stuff. And it really taught me a valuable lesson last night. So that's why I really felt like I definitely wanted to pass that on to you guys, no matter what. Even if you guys are disappointed and you stop coming back, you know, I understand if you do. But I also believe that there's a lot of you guys that are amazing. You know, I tell you guys all the time how amazing you guys are because of how much support and love I get from you guys all the time. It just blows my mind. But I just had to confess that with you guys, and I didn't want to make a huge, production out of it. I know it's kind of a long video, but I felt it was important for me to communicate this. And now I'm really looking forward to BBBE week. I'm already starting to really get a head start on it, although I still have my coffee. So I still got my coffee. And I know Rick Van Man said that he was probably not going to give up coffee. It did make me laugh when I heard him say that, but I'm gonna try to give it up for the week. Just because it's more of a curiosity thing. But I also told Rick, I said, Rick, if you want to drink coffee and then go clean, and then I'll give up coffee and go clean for that week, we can use that as an experiment and just kind of see how we feel at the end of that, at the end of the week. But I'm looking forward to doing a full clean week. And I'm definitely, I got back on the wagon today, so I feel good. I still got, again, some of that numbness, or not numbness, but like that arthritis feeling a little bit left in my right arm. And that's about it. It also triggered me to want to go potty, although I have not gone potty yet. I know I use the word potty. Sorry, all you men out there. I try to be a manly man, believe me. But I also try not to be too crude all the time, because it's not nice to always just say poop and shit all the time. See, it just sounds weird. Shit. All right. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I'm starting to ramble, but I hope you guys can forgive me, and I'm pretty sure most of you will. But yeah, that was my sin, and we'll move on. We're gonna move forward. No, and I would say, please let this be a lesson to you too, because for me, it's a great lesson. And and you want to know the extra guilt? Here's the extra guilt. It was like, me and Rick Van Man's been on kind of a similar path on a lot of things, but it's funny because he actually went the opposite way. Like, here I am, falling off the wagon and having sugar. He's actually doing this sardine thing, and he's like feeling great. He's like in super positive mode, and I'm like, dude, I am so happy for you. But I really am, and he deserves it. He's had sort of a breakthrough moment. And that's amazing. And then here I am, like, it was like, because I watch this video like in the morning, like when I'm just go out to my job. So here I am, like, first part of the day, heading out to work, put on his video, and he's like, yeah, oh, that's great. I'm like, and I'm just thinking of like last night when I had the cookies, and I'm like, Josh, you're an idiot. Don't do that again. And the thing is, I don't want to do it again. Like, I experienced it. I realized, yeah, like, sugar really is a drug. It really is a drug. So that's the lesson, guys. It's just tasty poison. It really is. And it's really not all that tasty after you've been away from it that long. So, and one more thing I wanted to clarify, because I did get a couple people asking me about the BBBE week challenge. They asked me if they could have other meat besides beef. And I think I did specify in another video, but I'm going to clarify again for some of you that weren't watching all my videos. But yes, the beef part of BBBE, the beef part, you can do chicken, beef, pork, any type of good meat, but you want to try to just stick as much as you can to ruminant meats. Animals like lamb and goat, cow, those type of things. But yeah, if you want to have chicken or fish or something, you can do that for sure. That's the beef part. We just don't say meat, butter, bacon, and eggs. It just doesn't sound as catchy. So that's why, so I think, Dr. Ken Berry, when he was BBBE, it's a lot easier to say, I guess, more catchy. So, but the beef part of it, yes, you can have all those things. Anyways, guys, we will see you day 54. I'm back at it. I'm not going to give up on you guys, and I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to get discouraged by all this. And here's one more thing. Sorry, I know that was like I was going for another attempt on ending the video. Real quick though, I gotta say another thing that I don't know if this was coincidence or not, but another video that I woke up to was Chris cooking Nashville. A lot of you guys hopefully you know his channel. He does a lot of the carnivore recipes. He innovates a lot of carnivore recipes, things that you wouldn't even think of, like carnivore refried beans, all this type of stuff, things that you wouldn't even think of. And he actually cheated on his carnivore. After a year of carnivore, he had a cupcake, and he explains everything, and he explains why he did it and all this other stuff. But I woke up to that also. So it was just weird how life is, and all the irony and on all those things. But anyways, guys, for real, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.